All right, so good morning. And today we will have a strap here and an assortment of blocks as usual. And we will start sitting in Sukhasana. Ah, ah. All right, ignore the props of age. Here we are. Inhale and exhale. And using the arms alongside, lengthening up. Feeling a little more space between the vertebrae, space in the hip sockets. Every little squinging you want to do. And then slowly release with the arms. Let's reach out wide through the collarbones, through the fingertips. So we'll do 3 times up and down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Lifting with the whole spine, with the breath. Once more. And let's let the hands rest on the knees a moment, pouring down the sides of the neck, off the tops of the shoulders, softening your gaze, maybe closing your eyes. Feeling your breath, feeling your body here in this moment. And also your mind and emotions. What are they doing? What distractions might be there? Maybe there aren't any. Sometimes we forget to consider the possibility when we're making some kind of assessment of ourselves, the possibility that maybe everything is just fine. Maybe it's even really good, possibly. We have such a bias for looking for the negative or what needs to be fixed or what's wrong. What if everything's actually okay? And then opening the eyes. Let's take a twist to the right. Inhale, lots of space. Exhale and twist. Lift a little taller through the top of the head to come back to the center. And then we'll change the cross of the legs and twisting to the left. Inhale and exhale. And lengthening back to the center. Let's breathe the arms up overhead and do the interlocked fingers. Pulling the elbows wide, pressing up, rounding down. Finding that balance of effort and ease, that balance of lifting and widening, or whatever else you notice in your body. Little more lift and spaciousness, and then we're going to start coming forward. So coming over just a little, trying to keep the upper arms by the ears. Don't let the arms come forward. Anchor down the back, pouring down the lower back into the sitting bones. Reaching out and over a little more. Anchoring down and back. And let's take like 3 more iterations like that to get to the floor. Reaching out, anchoring down, and 2, and 3, and then releasing the hands, letting the weight of the body rest into the hands, the arms, into the earth. Nice, big, easeful, round breath into the back of the body. And then coming up, unfurling that spine vertebrae by vertebrae, back up on top of the sitting bones. All right, and let's come up in downward facing dog. So, remembering that doing the pose can be a warm up for the pose. So maybe as you tuck the toes under, you just come up with a big bend in the knees to start really lifting the hips up and back, starting in the crouching tiger position. And then slowly expanding the legs, opening the back of the knees, or whatever you are doing there. And there's the usual dog walking. Miscellaneous squinging. Number 2, there's also coming back down onto all fours and regrouping, whatever you need. Couple more breaths here. Finding our downward facing dog. And then here we are. See if you can take 2 or 3 breaths, just holding steadily in your best downward facing dog of this moment. Coming down, sitting back in child's pose. Holding those legs up, going as far as your body's willing to go at this moment, back and down. And let's come back up and downward facing dog. We will go back and forth to the plank a couple times. So we'll Really press back through the legs. And then inhale and exhale, lengthening out to the plank. Holding your breath. Hinging back up to downward facing dog. And let's do that 3 more times, or as always, number of your choice. Coming forward. Breathe. And as you come back, notice what's taking you back. Is it the arms? Is it the hips? Is it the core? Probably all of the above, but maybe one part is initiating. And you would think I could count to 3, especially in something like doing planks. But now I don't know if this was our 3rd time or not. So I'm going to do one more. And then looking between the hands to jump or step forward or some combination of those things into Uttanasana, the forward bend at the front or approximate front of the mat. A couple bend and re-extend the knees. Keeping as much bend in the knees as you need to. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale, pouring down through the top of the head. Really letting gravity lengthen out your neck. And then coming up to standing, big front body yawn. Lift a little more. And then we're going to keep the arms up as we come up to vertical and just do a couple reaches. I'm going to turn a little towards you. Just reaching up one side and the other side. Sometimes this is called apple picking, but we're not actually picking the apples. We're just reaching for them. And then somewhere between 3 and 4 more, so that you finish right and left for yourself. And then we'll both arms up overhead, big reach, pressing down long through the top of the inhale and exhale. Let's circle the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 1, 2, 3. And one more, front to the back, interlocking the fingers, lengthening up the front of the body to lift the chest, to lift the chin. Lift a little more, coming forward and over. And releasing the hands. Concave back, folding over. Let's step back with the left leg so that we're in the right long low lunge. And easing that left knee down to the floor, keeping the hands on the floor for a couple breaths, really stretching into this. And then coming up in Yantrasana, bringing the arms up. Whoa, or maybe not. Okay, yeah, don't do all that fancy stuff I'm doing with my arms tipping over. And then we'll breathe the arms all the way around and back up overhead. Namaste. And then hinging back. Hands on the blocks or on the floor. Pulling back, straightening out that right leg. Reaching forward towards your right foot, pouring over that right leg any amount. And then reaching through the right foot to roll yourself back up to the low lunge, and we will step forward. Into the concave back, folding over. And coming up to standing, big front body yawn. Pressing the arms down, long through the top of the head. Deep breath. Circle the shoulders to interlock the fingers behind, lengthening up the front of the body. Lifting up a little more, relax the shoulders and arms a little more, coming over. And releasing the hands. And then we'll step back with the right leg. So we're in the left lunge, long, low lunge, which is also an opportunity to do the high lunge if you're feeling a little more energetic. And then we'll ease that right knee down to the floor, stretching into the front of the right hip a moment. And then coming up in Jayasana. We'll breathe those arms all the way around and back up overhead. Namaste in front. And then hinging back, flexing the left foot. Pulling the hips back, pulling the toes back, reaching forward through the upper chest. And pouring over that left leg. And reaching through the foot, rolling yourself forward and back up to the low lunge. Step forward. Into the concave back. Folding over. Deep breath. And let's bend the knees and sit back down on the floor into Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Holding on to the ankles or shins long through the top of the head. Coming forward, pressing out and down with the elbows or lower arms or whatever's working for your body here. Inhaling into the center, exhale, reaching out and over a little more. And coming up. Let's reassemble our legs, coming back up onto our feet, into the forward bend where we came from. Deep breath arriving here. And then we'll concave back, folding over, and stepping back to the plank. And we'll hold that plank 4, 3, 2, 1. That's probably enough. Let's set the knees down on all fours and doing a few cats and cows. And as you might have guessed, then we will Asta Namaskar, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Sliding out into the cobra and lengthening down. And then we'll do the three small cobras, not using the hands so much. Lifting up, lots of work in the upper back, maybe a little encouraging press with the hands, and then lengthening down twice more. And reaching through the legs as well. And then staying low with the upper body with your nose hovering above the floor. Let's reach and lift the legs up, even if they barely lift off the floor. There's no such thing as I can't do it. There's just maybe you can't do it the way you wish you could. And then we'll set those legs down. And we'll interlock our fingers behind yet again. And lifting up in Salabhasana. And then slowly release the hands, palms face the ceiling. And letting that go, coming down. And we will peel ourselves up. Couple cat and cow ripples. Maybe several, maybe many. And eventually, we will be in downward facing dog. And if you want to go through another vinyasa smoothly, go ahead. But we are going to have an optional hover plank here. So maybe saving your wrists and arms for that if you want. And then here we all are, downward facing dog. And let's lift our right leg up, reaching long through the heel. And hover plank knee forward. And lifting back up. And dog at the high fire hydrant, opening up the hip. And then a big inhale and exhale, swinging that leg through to the lunge or stepping down and stepping forward. And then we are coming up in the warrior number 1. Feeling your breath. Really taking advantage of this opportunity where there's not things going on, to be present, to breathe. And let's see, let's breathe the arms around in a big circle again and back up overhead. As the arms come up overhead, ground that lunge down. And then let the reaching up through the arms win and straighten up your right leg. And we'll do those reaches again. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then coming forward and over into Parsvottanasana. And lengthening out as much as you can and pouring over that right leg. And then let's bend that knee and stepping forward. Into the concave back. Pouring over. Deep breath. Bending the knees and sitting down. Into Baddha Konasana. All right, we'll just do a short forward bend here to get settled in. And then I'm going to turn at an angle so you can see me. In theory, we're facing the front of the back, maybe the front of the mat. Maybe you need to move yourself too. And we'll extend that left leg out and pull the right heel in a little closer into the half dragonfly. And then coming over forward between the two legs. And then walking the hands over so that you're over the left leg in a Janushirsasana. And we'll twist up to the right into Parvarita Janushirsasana. So maybe coming up a little higher for a moment to kind of get settled in and situated there, and then deepening back over. And come. And then we're going to take that left leg and bend it in so that the left leg is now coming straight forward from the hips, straight in front of you. If you're facing the front of the mat, be straight facing the front of the mat. And we'll get our belt and we'll Yantrasana number 1. If that right knee is a little bit high off the floor, you might want to take a block under the knee there so you can really press down and stabilize. All right, and then here we are. And we'll extend our left leg up, sort of half of me sit there. Pressing down with the right. So finding your angle here between the torso and the left leg. Even though our intention is to pull our forward forehead to our left shin and then reach straight up to the ceiling through the top of the head and the foot. Maybe not today. But here we are breathing now today as we are. And that is good enough. And then we'll fold that left leg down. And then let it come across the right knee into a Matsya Yantrasana. And we'll take a twist to the left. Inhale and exhale. And back to the center. And we'll disentangle our legs and coming back up onto our feet in the forward bend at the front of the mat. Breathing here, 3, 2, 1. And then a little concave back, folding over, stepping back to the plank. And let's hold that plank, 4, 3, 2, 1 off. All right, setting the knees down on all fours, couple cats and cows. And then we'll Asta Namaskar, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Into the cobra. Coming down. Let's do one small cobra with the upper body. And then reaching through the toes and to lift with the legs. Maybe being very honest about keeping the legs really straight. All right, and then we'll interlock the fingers behind. Lifting up in Savasana. Slowly release the hands, palms to the ceiling. Calming down. And then we'll peel ourselves up. Maybe a couple cats, cows. Maybe into that several or many if needed. And at some point soon, we'll all be back in downward facing dog. With an optional vinyasa here. I think I'll do it this time. And then we'll lift our left leg up. Over plank or not. Coming forward, lifting back up. Then the knee dog at the high fire hydrant. Big inhale and exhale, swinging that left leg through or stepping down and stepping up. And coming up in the warrior number 1. Inhale and exhale. Breathing into the pose. Maybe breathing a little bit more back into yourself. We'll breathe the arms all the way around in a circle again. As the arms come back up overhead, really feel the grounding down of the lunge. Like there's a little stretchy band on your sitting bone there, pulling to the floor, and it pulls a little more. And then we're going to let the pull up win, reaching up, straightening up that left. And forward reaches up through the sides of the body, through the arms. 4, 3, 2, 1. And coming over in Parsvottanasana, which actually literally means the extended or long sides pose. So let's feel those long sides extending out and then letting them pour over. Feeling like your shin and knee are actually doing a little press up toward your head. So that's a way to do that small bend in the knee if it's being a strain here, without it being a letting go of the leg, but being an active strengthening thing through the leg. Feel like you're doing a little press forward. And then we'll lunge forward to step forward. Into the concave, back, folding over, bending the knees, and sitting down in Baddha Konasana again. And a little forward, getting settled in this. And then we will extend our right leg out to the side, into the half dragonfly. All right, coming forward. And then walking the hands over to the right leg, the straight leg into a Janu Shirsasana. And then we'll twist up to the left, Parvrita Janu Shirsasana. And coming up to vertical. And then let's bend that right leg in. And if your left knee is kind of off the floor, maybe a block there to help ground down. So the right heel lines up with the right sitting bone. So Yantrasana number 1 with the leg in front of us. As we get the belt around the foot and extending that right leg. I'm trying to press down with the outer left thigh. Finding a good angle here for you. Now, when I didn't say on the other side, but you probably figured it out, if it really isn't working to be up here like this, you can be doing this like a Janu Shirsasana using the belt with that right leg on the floor. Anyway, here we are, trying to press the shoulders down, lengthen through the top of the head, lengthen up through the foot, making that leg work and cooperate with the belt, not just hang out there. And then we try to breathe. And bring that right leg down and crossing the right foot over the left knee, getting sort of squared up to the front of the mat. In Matsyendrasana, let's twist to the right. Inhale and exhale. And to the center, and making your way back up into the forward bend at the front of the mat. Arriving back up here on our feet. Relaxing the head and the neck, maybe a little shake, no, and nod, yes. As long as that doesn't make you too dizzy. And let's come all the way up to standing. Big front body yawn. And around to namaste and inhale and exhale. Samasthiti, steadiness. All right, releasing the hands, big lift up, and diving over. Concave back, folding over. And then we'll just do the jumper step back through the vinyasa, any version, downward facing dog. So if you want to come with me, I do my basic on the knees to the kneeling plank, and then you have to lift a little more through the core when you're kneeling plank. So you don't do the sag. And pulling the elbows back in chaturanga. You're actually working through the torso and core like you're trying to lift up, even as the arms bend, as low as you can or want to go into a kneeling up dog or maybe on the feet, and then downward facing dog. So it's time to do like 3 or 4 vinyasas. All right, here we are, downward facing dog. So let's have that hover plank option again. And then we're going to be making our way to the warrior 2 for those who want to get there sooner, as we lift our right leg up. And hover plank, knee forward, lifting up and back with the right leg again. Then the knee dog at the high fire hydrant. And through to the lunge, coming up in the warrior number 2. All right, wrapping that inner thigh to center of the foot. Breathing. And then this dancing warrior. And we'll let the right elbow bend, taking the right hand toward the back of the head and bring the left arm up to get hold of the right elbow. And then a big inhale and exhale, release the arms and tilt over into the triangle, straighten up the right. So I have a very small triangle today. But you can have a very big triangle. Reach a little longer through the sides of the body. And we'll reach the left arm over the ear, long and flat for a moment, resisting that pull. And then letting it pull you down to the lunge. And let's go the other way. No, let's step forward. Never mind. Step forward. We'll continue on the path. Concave back, folding over, sitting down into Baddha Konasana. Here we are again. A little press and settle in. And then we'll open up that left leg. And actually, we're going to do the right leg first this time. Almost messed it up there. Right leg out to the side. So our left leg is bent, our right leg is straight. And once again, coming forward and over, getting settled in. And coming up. All right, so then we're going to do Yantrasana number 2 with the leg to the side. So bending that right leg in about halfway up. So it's kind of in that giant bug position out there. Getting the belt around the foot. Oh, I forgot to say, and maybe you figured it out, you can always hold the big toe or the foot if it's easier than the belt. And our arm is inside that right leg, maybe a block or something under the left leg, whatever is most helpful with the left arm. If putting it back behind you, maybe holding the knee, maybe in front, as we lift that right foot off the floor and extend that right leg out to a diagonal side. And maybe we're tilting back a little or a lot. But our intention is to be vertical through the top of the head and to pull that right leg up so it's pretty much the foot is behind our head and lifting to the ceiling. I'm trying to press the left outer leg and knee down. Maybe if you can, bringing the left arm up overhead, imagining that left hand getting hold of your right foot there, right above your head. And then we'll bring that all down. And we'll let that right leg cross in front of the left into Sukhasana. Coming forward and over, breathing wide across the back of the body. And coming up. And then we will disentangle our legs and make our way up into the forward bend, the front of the mat. And here we are. Inhale and exhale, arriving on those feet. And then making our way back to downward facing dog through a vinyasa or not. Or if you are vinyasana in that torso, you're always kind of trying to do a little cat back. So you're resisting the going down and lowering of the chaturanga. Don't need to assist it. Gravity's doing that pretty well. And then we will be in downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg. And hover plank knee forward. And lifting back up. Bend the knee dog at the high fire hydrants. And big inhale and exhale through to the lunge. And then coming up in the warrior number 2 on the left. Breathing. Checking the alignment of that left knee. Relaxing the tops of the shoulders, maybe a little more lift through the core. And dancing warrior, left arm up and away. And bending that left arm, hand toward the back of the head, and bringing the right arm up to get the left elbow. And a big inhale and exhale, expanding into the triangle. Breathing. Make those sides nice and long, just like in that Parsvottanasana where we're going forward over the front leg. Triangle 2 is about long sides. And then we'll make our right side longer by bringing the right arm over the ear as we pour down the outer right leg into the outer heel, resisting that pull, and then letting the right arm pull you down and stepping forward into the forward bend. And a little concave back. Inhale and exhale. Bend the knees. And into Baddha Konasana. And a little forward, getting settled in here. All right, and then half dragonfly, extending the left leg out to the side. Right leg bent, left leg straight. And coming forward between the two legs for a few breaths. And calm. All right, here we go. Yantrasana number 2. Bending that left leg out there at an angle. And maybe a block under the right knee. So sometimes, as you might have noticed, that even if you could do the number 1 Yantrasana without a block or a little extra support, sometimes it's different in number 2, which I think is significantly harder. Anyway, getting the belt around the foot, or maybe you're holding your foot or your big toe. Sitting up nice and straight, and then getting that foot off the floor, extending the leg, seeing where your right hand and arm are going to be the most helpful, maybe behind, maybe on the knee, maybe in front. And trying to lift up, draw into the center. The same time as we're reaching out. It's always contradictory things like that in yoga. We're expanding out with our left leg to the side, and at the same time trying to pull in and up in the center. Oh, and we're trying to breathe. Maybe that right arm can come up overhead to get hold of our imaginary left foot. I don't know, maybe that left foot is up there behind your head. And then we'll bring that left leg down and into Sukhasana. Coming forward and over, nice big easeful breaths across the back of the body. Inhale and exhale. Letting go of any tension in the face of the jaw or anywhere. And then come up, and we will come down to the floor onto our back. And let's do a bridge pose. You, of course, can do whatever your body feels like it wants or needs to do. And if you want, just following along with me as we bridge pose, scooping the pelvis up, peeling off the floor. Press the feet into the floor, lift a little more, maybe interlocking the fingers underneath. Inhale, lots of space. Exhale, we move into that space. Letting your breath be like a big balloon underneath your bridge pose. Every breath gently inflates that balloon a little more. So it's that balloon of breath that's holding you up, not your hamstrings and gluteus maximus, which of course it is, not your back muscles, not your clenched jaw. And then rolling back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, landing on the floor. Ah. All right. And let's do the knees to the side, bringing the arms out wide, and we'll drop the knees over to the left, making a twist to the right. Or anything else you want to do. Maybe it was happy baby or figure four. Or you're in Shavasana. And back to the center, over to the other side. Back to the center. And making your way into Shavasana. Inhale and exhale, dropping right in. Every moment of each breath. Breathing back into your body, circling the wrists and ankles, stretching the arms up overhead. Bend the knees, making your way up to sitting. Sitting in any comfortable position with a long and spacious spine. Taking another moment, sitting quietly inside yourself. Namaste. Thank you for coming.